In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on November 28, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Chicago Bears versus Detroit Lions. This Thanksgiving, the holiday football slate kicks off with an exciting NFC North matchup featuring the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. The Bears are coming off a narrow home loss to the Minnesota Vikings in their last outing. Meanwhile, the Lions secured a road victory over the Indianapolis Colts in their most recent game. Notably, Detroit swept Chicago in both of their meetings last season, showcasing their dominance in this divisional rivalry. The Lions enter this game as one of the league's top-performing teams, bolstered by an impressive record. They will enjoy the advantage of playing at home but face some injury concerns heading into the matchup. Detroit has been dominant, winning 6 of their last 8 games by double-digit margins. However, one of their primary running backs is listed as questionable, which could impact their offensive rhythm. On the other hand, the Bears are in the midst of a 5-game losing streak, with their last 2 losses being particularly painful: a 1-point defeat against the Green Bay Packers and an overtime heartbreaker against the Vikings. Detroit's resounding victory over the Colts on Sunday improved their record to 10-1, further solidifying their status as one of the NFL's elite teams. While their offense has rightfully garnered significant praise, having scored 42 or more points in 4 games this season, it is their defense that has shown remarkable improvement. The Lions limited Indianapolis to just 6 points, marking the 2nd consecutive game in which they held their opponents to that total. Over their last 5 games, Detroit's defense has held 4 teams to 14 points or fewer. Given Chicago's struggles to score more than 16 points on the road this season, the Lions' defense should have little trouble containing them. Although the Bears appeared poised for a breakthrough against Minnesota, they ultimately fell 30-27 in overtime. The short turnaround for this game could further exacerbate fatigue and complicate their efforts to compete. The Lions' recent success can be attributed to their dynamic offense, which leads the NFL in passing yards per attempt. This potent attack faces a Bears defense that has been inconsistent, stout at times, but also prone to allowing significant yardage through the air, ranking 6th worst in passing yards allowed per attempt. Chicago's morale is likely at a low point following their 5th straight loss, making it hard to envision them mounting a meaningful challenge. Quarterback Jared Goff and the Lions' offense are well positioned to exploit the Bears' vulnerabilities and continue their winning ways. The Chicago Bears' struggles have been fueled by a stagnant offense, resulting in 5 consecutive losses. Their inability to score consistently has left them demoralized and vulnerable. Conversely, the Detroit Lions have been on a tear, having not lost since Week 2. They have showcased their dominance through multiple blowout victories and will be eager to deliver a commanding performance in front of their home crowd on Thanksgiving Day. Chicago's offensive woes are glaring, as they have averaged just 15 points over their last 5 games. The Bears' reliance on their running game may play into Detroit's strengths, as the Lions boast a formidable rush defense that allows just 95 rushing yards per game, 5th best in the league. Meanwhile, the Lions' running backs, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, are primed to exploit the Bears' subpar run defense, which ranks 20th in the NFL. Detroit has also won 4 of their last 5 games by 10 or more points, further highlighting their superiority. Detroit's home dominance has been nothing short of remarkable. In their last 2 games at Ford Field, they scored an astounding 52 points each while allowing a combined total of just 20 points. Although these wins came against Tennessee and Jacksonville, both teams presented formidable challenges, particularly the Titans with their solid defense. Chicago, however, appears ill-equipped to handle Detroit's high-powered offense, which averages 417 total yards and 38 points per game at home. In contrast, the Bears have managed just 287 yards per game on the road, with an effective rushing attack and a rookie quarterback facing an intimidating Lions pass rush. Despite some signs of improvement in the Bears' offense over the past 2 weeks, they are unlikely to overcome Detroit's overwhelming talent and momentum. The Bears' recent loss has likely eroded any remaining confidence, setting the stage for another blowout. Consequently, the Detroit Lions to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. While the Lions' defense has been exceptional, having not allowed a touchdown in the last 10 quarters, that streak may end here. Head coach Dan Campbell will likely push for another offensive explosion, aiming to score close to 50 points against a Bears defense that struggled against Aaron Jones last week. With Gibbs and Montgomery leading the ground attack and Jared Goff utilizing play-action passes to connect with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Detroit should dominate offensively. However, as they build a comfortable lead, their defense may soften, allowing Chicago quarterback Caleb Williams to connect with DJ Moore for some big plays. This could push the game's total points over the projected threshold. The Lions' defense, while strong overall, has shown vulnerability in the passing game, surrendering an average of 227 yards through the air, ranking 25th in the league. They may also be without cornerback Carlton Davis, who missed Monday's practice. This gives Chicago a slight opening to generate some points through the air. However, Detroit's quick-paced offense, ranked 10th in plays per game, is expected to overwhelm Chicago. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson is likely to unveil creative plays to energize the home crowd and catch the Bears off guard. Given these factors, the over has hit in 5 of the Lions' last 8 games, and this matchup should follow suit with a high-scoring affair anticipated. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Giants versus Dallas Cowboys. It's Thanksgiving, which means a day filled with football and the iconic presence of the Dallas Cowboys. This year, America's team will host the New York Giants in a National Football Conference East matchup on Thursday, November 28th. Both teams have struggled throughout the season and are desperately seeking a spark to salvage their disappointing campaigns. The Giants, with a dismal 2-9 record, are tied for the worst record in the NFL, while the Cowboys, at 4-7, snapped a 5-game losing streak in their most recent outing. Many fans are dubbing this game nap time, given the bleak outlook for both franchises for the remainder of the season. However, Dallas provided a glimmer of hope with an unexpected victory over Washington last week as a double-digit underdog. Backup quarterback Cooper Rush turned in a strong performance, completing 75% of his passes for 247 yards and 2 touchdowns against a formidable Commanders defense. Against the Giants, who allow the 5th most passing yards per attempt and have only managed 1 interception all season, the fewest in the league, Rush could replicate that success. Additionally, the Giants' defense surrenders the most yards per carry in the NFL, giving running back Rico Dowdle an opportunity to build on his 86-yard effort from last week. Although I don't expect Dallas to light up the scoreboard, they should comfortably outpace a struggling Giants team now led by Tommy DeVito. The Giants, who managed only 7 points against the Buccaneers, have scored the fewest points in the league by a wide margin. DeVito, with just 189 passing yards in his last game, faces the added challenge of a short Thanksgiving turnaround, making significant improvement unlikely. While the Cowboys' season has been far from ideal, it hasn't reached the same depths as the Giants. Earlier this season, Dallas secured a road victory over New York and appeared more confident in last week's win over Washington, with Cooper Rush protecting the ball and delivering key touchdown passes. In contrast, the Giants seemed to give up early in their loss to the Buccaneers, and the team appears to lack direction. DeVito looked uncomfortable under center, and the Giants' playmakers struggled to make any significant impact. If the Cowboys strike early, the Giants likely won't have the answers to mount a response, as their team morale and cohesion seem to be in disarray. This Thanksgiving matchup is undeniably lackluster, with both teams fielding backup quarterbacks and little to play for. While the Cowboys are at least attempting to remain competitive, the Giants have appeared to embrace a tanking strategy, particularly after moving on from Daniel Jones. History also favors Dallas in this rivalry. They've won 9 of the last 10 meetings against New York, with 7 of those victories decided by 7 or more points. As such, the Dallas Cowboys to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The over has hit in 7 of Dallas' 11 games this season, including 4 of 5 at home. On Thanksgiving, viewers may find themselves repeatedly asking, where's the defense? Both teams are prone to giving up big plays, as their defenses rank among the bottom 5 in the NFL in expected points added per play allowed. Dallas, in particular, struggles in rush defense, ranking last in rush expected points added per play. This creates opportunities for explosive runs from the Giants' Tracy, which could set up manageable passing situations for either Tommy Cutlets DeVito or Drew Jeezy Lock. Cooper Rush has looked steady in his starts and should continue to exploit New York's porous defense, which has allowed at least 26 points in 4 of its last 5 games. Additionally, the Giants' run defense has been consistently weak, giving up 4 rushing touchdowns to different players in their game against the Buccaneers. They've also allowed 100-plus rushing yards to several running backs, including Saquon Barkley, Najee Harris, and Chuba Hubbard in recent weeks. Despite DeVito's struggles against the Buccaneers, the Giants should still contribute a modest number of points, likely in the mid-teens, to the total. The Cowboys' defense has its own shortcomings, allowing the second most passing yards per attempt in the league and the most rushing touchdowns. Dallas has also conceded at least 26 points in each of their last 6 games. The over is 4-1 in Dallas home games this season and has hit in 2 consecutive contests overall. Although neither offense has been particularly impressive, both are likely to find success against struggling defenses, especially on a short week. The Cowboys, who have allowed the most points in the NFL, could see their vulnerabilities exploited yet again. With Cooper Rush poised to pick apart New York's lackluster pass defense and the Cowboys also a threat in the return game, the total points scored could easily surpass the projection. While this game has received criticism for its lack of star power, the poor defenses on both sides may allow for a surprisingly entertaining shootout. With that in mind, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Miami Dolphins versus Green Bay Packers. The Miami Dolphins and Green Bay Packers are set to clash in the final matchup of an NFL Thanksgiving Day triple-header hosted at a frosty Lambeau Field. The Dolphins, riding the momentum of a 3-game winning streak, hold a 5-6 overall record. Meanwhile, the Packers are 8-3 and remain firmly entrenched in the race for a playoff spot in the highly competitive National Football Conference North Division. The Miami Dolphins enter this matchup on a high note, boasting 3 consecutive victories that have reignited their playoff aspirations. Their offensive turnaround is largely attributed to the return of quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Since his comeback 5 games ago, the Dolphins have averaged an impressive 30 points per game, achieving this feat against tough opponents like the Cardinals, Bills, Rams, Raiders, and Patriots. Their defense has also stepped up, holding opponents to just 16 points per game during their last 3 outings. However, this defensive success came against weaker offensive teams such as the Rams, Raiders, and Patriots. When facing more potent offenses like the Bills, Seahawks, and Cardinals, they allowed an average of 28 points per game. This inconsistency raises concerns about their ability to contain Green Bay on the road. The Packers, on the other hand, have been in excellent form, winning 6 of their last 7 games, including a dominant performance against the 49ers in their latest contest. While their win over San Francisco was somewhat expected given the absence of 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy, Green Bay's ground game was particularly impressive. Running back Josh Jacobs and the Packers' rushing offense, which ranks 3rd in the NFL with an average of 151.6 yards per game, put up 169 rushing yards against a stout 49ers defense. This performance underscores their balanced and effective offensive approach. The narrative surrounding Tua Tagovailoa's struggles in cold weather has been a frequent talking point, but the Dolphins are determined to rewrite that story. Moving from the warmth of South Florida to the icy conditions of Green Bay will be challenging, especially with temperatures expected to dip to 20 degrees and winds exceeding 12 miles per hour. Still, Miami has faith in its abilities and is confident in Tagovailoa's recent hot streak. Despite Green Bay's home field advantage, the Packers' pass defense has been a vulnerability, ranking 18th in yards allowed per pass attempt. This presents an opportunity for Miami's potent passing attack to exploit. Green Bay is widely seen as the favorite due to the conditions and their home advantage, but Miami's recent form suggests they should not be overlooked. The Dolphins' ability to sustain long, clock-draining drives could prove invaluable in harsh weather. Furthermore, Tagovailoa is in peak form, while Green Bay's defense will be missing key players, including Jair Alexander, due to injuries. The Dolphins' offense has been firing on all cylinders, scoring 34 points in back-to-back games, albeit against subpar teams. Meanwhile, the Packers have been a bit inconsistent despite their strong record, with a near loss to the Bears serving as a reminder of their vulnerabilities. However, their dominant win over San Francisco last week showcased their potential when everything clicks. One of the most significant matchups to watch will be Miami's passing attack against Green Bay's middling pass defense. The Packers rank 18th in yards allowed per attempt and will be without their top cornerback, Jair Alexander, due to a concussion. Tua Tagovailoa, who has been exceptional in recent weeks with a 74% completion rate, 8 touchdowns, and just 1 interception, could take full advantage of this weakness to keep the Dolphins competitive. This game has the makings of a tightly contested battle, and Miami's momentum makes an outright win plausible. Given their recent performances and the Packers' injuries, the Miami Dolphins to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Miami's run defense has also been effective against some of the league's best rushing teams, including the Bills, Cardinals, Seahawks, and Rams, holding them to under 100 yards per game. If they can replicate that success on Thursday, they may force Green Bay out of its comfort zone. However, the Dolphins' rushing attack has been inconsistent, averaging just 4.1 yards per carry and ranking 22nd in the league. This could be problematic in the challenging conditions at Lambeau Field, which often favor teams that can run the ball effectively. The cold and windy weather will likely play a significant role in limiting both offenses. Wind speeds are expected to exceed 20 miles per hour as the game progresses, combining with freezing temperatures to create a challenging environment for passing. Both teams will need to rely heavily on fundamentals, and this game could take on the feel of a playoff matchup rather than a traditional Thanksgiving spectacle. While Miami has been lighting up the scoreboard in recent weeks, those performances came in favorable conditions, including 2 home games and 1 at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Now, they'll face a Packers defense that has allowed fewer than 15 points per game in its last 2 outings. Green Bay's offense, led by its strong rushing attack, seems better equipped for the adverse conditions. Though these teams are often perceived as high-scoring, a closer look reveals their reliance on the ground game. Green Bay ranks 5th in rushing play percentage, while Miami is 13th. Both defenses also rank in the top half of the league, allowing 21.5 points per game or fewer. On a short week and in freezing temperatures, this game will likely hinge on fundamentals, with both teams focusing on ball control. Ultimately, this matchup appears set to be a closely contested affair. With both offenses somewhat hindered by the conditions and the defenses playing solidly, a final score in the range of 24-21 seems likely. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.